This is Valley News Live at 5.
Well, I guess, it also goes through your mind that somebody has to win. Maybe it's me.
Thousands of people get ripped off by phone scams each year. One woman called our whistleblower hotline when she suspected someone might be trying to rip her off. Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin is investigating this case, including what to look out for.
Telling me that I had won $500,000.
That's Cheryl. She's afraid of being identified after she got a series of suspicious phone calls.
The whole time I'm entirely skeptical.
She says she got a call from a Kevin Daniels, an attorney out in South Carolina, saying she's won big money. They knew her name and her address, and she cautiously went along with it.
He said, if you have anybody else call you about this, call me immediately, because we don't want fraud in there or scammers trying to get a hold of you.
She kept playing phone tag with 3 different numbers from this group.
But I thought, okay, let's hear what he has to say.
They never asked for more information other than her date of birth, but then never showed up with the check when they said they were going to. So she called the whistleblower hotline and we investigated.
You have reached the South Carolina Bar.
Our first call was to the South Carolina Bar Association. Their website says they have more than 15,000 members, and officials there say attorneys would want to register with them to show they're reputable, although they're not required to. I'm looking for a Kevin Daniels in South Carolina. No Kevin Daniels registered with them. So our next call?
Hi, you've reached the personal assistant for Keller Daniels. Please tell me your name and I'll try to connect you.
Sounds legitimate.
Keller Daniels.
Hi, I'm looking for Kevin Daniels. Is he available?
Attorney Kevin Daniels. Well, I have to see if he's ready to take a call, okay?
The woman who identified as a secretary took my last name, said that they should have my phone number, and then said,
Have you spoken to him, this week?
No, I'm calling actually on the behalf of Cheryl. The woman assumed Cheryl was related to me. You called her saying that she had won some money, and nobody ever got back to her. I'm a reporter in North Dakota, and I'm wondering who Kevin Daniels is and if you guys are trying to scam people or not.
All right. Okay. Mr. Ryan Laughlin. Okay. All right. I'll take note of this, sir. I'll schedule a call back. All right.
You'll schedule a call back with who? She said hopefully Mr. Daniels would call me back by the end of the day. Are you guys trying to scam people? How come nobody called back Cheryl? And how come Kevin Daniels isn't registered with the bar in South Carolina?
Hey, this is a law firm, and I'm a secretary. I'm actually tasked to receive calls, screen calls. I'm not in the position to answer the questions that you may have.
Do you have a website where
you can speak to the senior attorney? All right.
Do you have a website? So we tried the next number that called Cheryl.
May I ask who's calling?
Yeah, my name's Ryan Laughlin. I'm a reporter for Valley News Live.
Oh, it's you again who called.
This is a different phone number I'm calling. How come I'm connected to you again? A different number brought us back to the same person. She still wouldn't say if there was a website, said a senior attorney would call us back, and then hung up on us again. The last number that called Cheryl?
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
I'd hate to see it happen to somebody older than I am that is maybe less capable of checking things out.
Cheryl's confident her personal information is safe, but wants to warn others if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. From Grand Forks, Ryan Laughlin, Valley News Live.
Now, we never got our call returned from Kevin Daniels or anyone else in South Carolina. The Federal Trade Commission has some guidelines for you. The law says legal telemarketers must tell you if it's a sales call and who the name of the seller is. Fast talkers will often pressure you to make decisions quickly, but take your time and ask for things in writing. It's only legal for sales calls to be made between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. and never give out personal information over the phone. And as mentioned, this story came to us through our whistleblower hotline. So if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call us at 237-6576 and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. Cloudy today, and we're wondering if rain will impact our plans this evening. Hutch, anything to worry about?
Well, as a matter of fact, the umbrella will come in handy, especially in our western counties. A quick glance at the radar shows quite a swath of rain shower activity moving out of the central Dakotas and moving east-northeast as we head into the evening hours, stretching from the Canadian border in Towner County all the way south towards the Ellendale area. In the Southern Valley, we have some short-lived showers that'll be passing through, not as widespread, but all of Stutsman County having light to moderate showers. And moving out of Walls County and into the Ramsey and Benson County areas, some very heavy rain. That's where the heaviest will be. The forecast shows this moves into the Devil's Lake Basin between now and 7 o'clock, and it stays in the eastern third of North Dakota between now and 10 at 10 tonight. Fargo and Grand Forks, for the most part, should stay dry for the evening. It's overnight when we'll have our best chance of showers. So in Fargo, temperatures will be in those lower 70s this evening and 60s as we get past sunset. Our chance of rain coming after midnight. I'll detail where the best chance of rain is, how much we're expecting, and how we're looking as we close out the rest of our work week.
Okay, thanks, Hutch. Two men are facing second-degree assault charges after police say they were involved in an incident where a gun was pulled in South Moorhead. 22-year-old Eddie Darden of Dilworth and 22-year-old Kyler Klepp of Mayville were arrested after police stopped their car near the 1100 block of 34th Street South in Moorhead. A search of the car turned up two guns. Police were first called out around 1:30 this afternoon after someone reported that the two men showed up at a Moorhead construction site and flashed a gun. Investigators believe that incident was a result of a texting argument over a woman that two of the men know. After that, the men took off, and police tracked down Darden and Klepp near the Casey's gas station on 34th Street South. They're both being held at the Clay County Jail. Officials say the investigation is ongoing. Developing tonight, Fargo police are continuing their search for two people they say robbed a Casey's General Store in Fargo. Investigators were on the scene at the downtown location, 10th Street and 3rd Avenue, around 4 o'clock this morning. Police say two men who were armed came in and demanded money. Police would not confirm the weapons the two had, but it was reported that one was carrying a gun and the other had a knife. Police say the men were wearing dark clothing and their faces were covered. If you have any information about the robbery, you're urged to call police. It's become all too familiar in our community, mourning the death of someone who struggled with addiction. This time, it's a 24-year-old Fargo South graduate. Police suspect Michael Peterson died of an overdose. Adam Martin, the man behind the sober home Peterson was living in, says he was a recovering addict. An autopsy will be performed to get an official cause of death. On Valley News Live at 6, we talked to the man who was helping Peterson. He says this death highlights the major problem we have with addiction in this community. The superintendent of Northern Cass Schools is facing a DUI charge after being arrested over the weekend. Officials with the Cass County Sheriff's Office tell Valley News Live Corey Steiner was originally pulled over for speeding in rural Mapleton last Saturday. Steiner appeared in court yesterday and was charged with a misdemeanor DUI. He's due back in court at the end of the month. The Fargo School Board is making a take-it-or-leave-it offer to the district's teachers union. The board approved a one-year contract offer this morning that includes a $500 pay raise. Negotiations have been going on for weeks, but the talks stalled over disagreements about pay and classroom safety. Teachers are not allowed to strike in North Dakota, so they have less than a week to sign the deal or be out of a job. Union representatives, as you might expect, are not happy about today's developments.
The board basically said today that your years of experience and what we've been doing in our district as far as growth and helping you, that we don't necessarily value that.
That's not true at all. Obviously, our longest serving teachers are our highest paid teachers, and we certainly value them. I can understand their frustration.
Students, by the way, arrive back on the 24th. Johnson says teachers can petition to reopen negotiations for next year's contracts around Thanksgiving, meeting again in January. The state of North Dakota is now getting federal help to cover some of the costs of the Dakota Access Pipeline protests. But lawmakers are saying the $10 million from the Department of Justice is not enough. Today's announcement from U.S. Senator John Hoeven comes after the state was previously denied when they applied for tens of millions of dollars from the Justice Department. Senator Hoeven says the fact that the protest camps were allowed to remain on federal land with no federal law enforcement support leads him to believe that they should share in covering the nearly $33 million bill the state was left with. Governor Doug Burgum issued a statement thanking lawmakers for their work to get federal funds and says this is a good start toward recovering the costs caused by the, quote, irresponsible inaction of the Obama administration. New language from North Korean state media suggests the regime may be pulling back from the escalating war of words with the U.S. NBC's Blaine Alexander has more from Washington.
A new show of military strength from the U.S. and Japan, the allies flexing their muscles right next to North Korea, which today appears to be softening its tough talk. After threats of firing missiles at Guam, state media reporting the plan now, wait and see what the foolish Yankees do.
We continue to be interested in finding a way to get to a dialogue, but that's up to him.
State media releasing new pictures showing Kim Jong-un reportedly studying a new attack strategy on Guam, suggesting the stare down may not be over yet. North Korea still demanding the U.S. cancel planned military drills with South Korea, something the U.S. will not even consider.
But compared to where we were 5 days ago, this is a good development.
The cooling rhetoric from North Korea coming after this stern warning yesterday from Defense Secretary James Mattis.
If they fire at the United States, it could escalate into war very quickly. Yes, that's called war. If they do that, then it's game on.
The secretary using more measured words today.
And we stand ready to defend our nation.
One solution, leaning on China to rein in North Korea. But the U.S.-China relationship now under strain after President Trump launched an investigation into Chinese trade practices. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
Today, China lashed out at that U.S. investigation, but giving no hint that it will affect their efforts when it comes to North Korea.